We're here today to talk about education, and I don't think there's a better backdrop that we could have for the issue that I'm talking about today, and certainly a successful business like this one. And Robert Scott, the Commissioner of Education, is here, and he and I are both going to talk about some of the successes that we have had in our field of education in the state of Texas. But the fact of the matter is we still got some work ahead, and Texas has got a long story in terms of academic improvements, thanks to concerted efforts that we've made, and it's been a group effort. It's our legislators working together. It's been the TEA, obviously our classroom teachers and teachers groups, the parents and the local officials. It's everyone working together has been a part of. I think a very good story, our improved tax scores in every subject and every grade improved for the 2008-2009 school year. Recognition for Texas as one of only 4 states in the nation to be closing the achievement gap in math. Another indicator of our continued success can be found in the advanced placement testing, where student participation is up by 170% in the last 9 years, and the number of passing grades went up by 140%. So Texas has one of the highest percentages of students taking the SAT test in the country. We got more first-generation college students taking the exam than the national average, and the number of Hispanic students taking the SAT is growing by nearly 105% since 1999. So, for instance, in math, Texas students are beating the national average on the ACT test, and we got test scores up in all demographics, and we've seen improving scores every year since 2005. So, however you measure success, Texas is pointed in the right direction. However, we're dealing with an issue here today that has challenged schools all across the country, and certainly in Texas, and that's dropouts. And that's a tragic story. The fact is that when we have kids drop out of schools, and it can be because of family obligations. It can be because of illness. It can be because of full-time job that somebody thinks they have to be employed in. There are young people that fall prey to just youthful bravado. I don't need to go to school. I'm going to get out and get a good job, and whatever the reason, the results are consistently the same. A young life is hobbled by a bad decision. A path to success is blocked because of that lack of education. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the average annual salary of Americans who finish high school is 38% higher than those who don't. Unfortunately, by the time that these young people realize they made a mistake, it's all too often they think it's too late. The burden that they carry, job, of family, of a sense of failure. So in an effort to lower those barriers to completion, I'm here today to propose a $1,500 per year tax break for Texas business owners for each of their full-time employees who dropped out, who either returns and graduates high school or earns their GED. Now think about that. So a $1,500 tax credit to Maria for each of your employees who gets back into a program. And we'll explain some of the flexibility in that program in just a minute. But there's a real opportunity for her to save money and an opportunity to help her employees. So to be eligible, the business must be in good standing with the state, must provide the employee with at least 2 hours of paid time off every week. Participants can use that time to attend class or complete coursework or study for tests. This incentive will take the form of a deduction from the employer's sales tax obligation to the state. So our goal is to get 5,000 students per year to take advantage of this program. And that deduction relates to about $7.5 million annually, which I happen to think is a worthwhile investment and giving these Texans a second chance. This is another tool that we can use to tackle a very stubborn and multifaceted issue, this issue of dropouts. Companion efforts include our push for greater accountability among our educators, institution of an optional, flexible school day that lets districts offer classes outside of the traditional school day hours. 71 districts took advantage of that option during the past school year, and I hope we'll see even more schools take the opportunity to have those flexible hours of offering courses and having their schools open. We also created a network of STEM academies, science, technology, engineering, and math, for students in those traditionally at-risk categories. And these programs have helped Texas earn additional national acclaim with our programs designated best practices last year by the Bipartisan National Governors Association. So to keep our progress moving, I've called on the legislature to consider additional improvements to our approach, including requiring school enrollment or progress towards that GED for anyone trying to get or to keep a Texas driver's license. Now you think about that. When I was 16 years old, I'm pretty sure the most important thing in my life for any extended period of time was getting that driver's license. So if you're of that age and you're not either in one of our brick and mortar schools or one of our virtual schools working to get that GED, no driver's license. That's a pretty good incentive, I would suggest. I also believe that we need to double the number of STEM academies that I just mentioned. I'm going to ask the legislature to go from 46 that we have now to 92 of those academies, double the opportunity to prepare our young high-tech workforce. I'm also proposing expanding the Texas Virtual School Network with the creation of the Texas Virtual School District. These districts will build upon that existing technology to enable students, including dropouts, to be able to complete their education using that accredited curriculum from any computer that has an internet connection. Virtual High School will let students work at their own pace without compromising our state's strict standards, accountability. You take a business like this, they could make a room available where an employee could go and have access to that computer, and in turn, not only does the business then get access to that $1,500 of tax credit, but they also are allowing their employees to become more capable and giving them the opportunity to get that GED. The fact is, a single dropout is one dropout too many, and we're going to continue to seek ways to find sensible, proven options and give every Texan a shot at a better life, and that's what this is really about.